YouTube family, welcome to Official Talkology. If you have not done so, go ahead and go to youtube.com, type Official Talkology, hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell so that you can get the latest videos, as well as leave me a comment and hit the thumbs up to like my video. If you have not done so, go ahead and watch these 7 steps to owning your own business. And the latest video that I released last Monday was being financially savvy. And today's video will be about the top 5 questions that most employers will ask during an interview and how to be prepared for those type of questions early on by doing your research and preparing yourself and creating a small bio about yourself before you go on to that video so that you can in fact land that interview. In this particular session, we'll talk about those 5 questions, and I will list different examples on how to properly answer those questions so that the next interview that you go to, you will land that position right away. So the first question that they will ask is always, always, always. So tell me about yourself. Now, mind you, when they ask you that question, it's because they want to know about your work ethic. They want to know about your journey, your experience, how great of a leader you are, and how great of an asset you're going to be part of their team. So this is the moment for you to be able to list your strengths, your weaknesses, your journey, what you're all about. And so that way you will know how to properly answer that question accordingly. And so it is that important for you to be able to answer that question well. And so you want to talk about your education. You want to talk about what motivates you. You also want to talk about how creative you are and how great of a leader you are. That is the moment that you want to be so good and so precise and to the point, and you want to limit those answering that question under a minute, because the easier the way that you answer the question determines how well the interview will go or how poor the interview will go. Now, the second question that they will ask you is that tell me about a difficult situation. How did you go about handling it? What was the end result? And who did you get involved? Okay? And so you want to talk about your truth, your story. Because at the end of it all, they don't know what your stories are. They don't know what your truths are. They don't know what you've experienced. But once you tell your story, it is your truth, and you want to make it believable. So you want to practice early on so that you do not stutter and you don't seem unbelievable. So it is important for you to prepare for this particular interview, or for any interview for that matter. And so you just basically, for an example, you would say, well, I think the most difficult situation that I face as a manager is when I have to let someone go based on the fact that they did not maximize their potential, or sales were down. That's just one example. Then you want to talk about, an irate customer that you came about, and how did you resolve it? Did you have to reprimand your employee? Did you have to call upper management? Whatever that truth may be, you want to make it believable, and you want to make it your truth. And so you want to be able to tell them that particular story in the order that it happened, and you want to make it believable. Now, the third question, now mind you, these questions are not in any particular order, okay? So the third question would be, why should I hire you? That is the number one, the $1 million question that almost every employer will ask. Why should I hire you? You should hire me because my experience is almost perfectly aligned with the requirements of your job listing. I'm well versed in providing world-class customer service, and I pride myself on my ability to quickly resolve problems accordingly. The guests enjoy their stay with us. Customers enjoy their purchasing experience with our cashiers or with the entire company. So my goal is to ensure that I provide the best leadership possible to teach and train employees accordingly, and to value their opinion and to listen to them, to their needs. That's just an example, but it can be whatever your truth may be. And that's up to you in terms of how you want to list it. Mind you, they don't know what your stories are, but you do. So if you practice early on, they will be able to be like, At the end of the interview, you want them to remember you. You want them to always have an aha moment. Aha. Okay. Uh, mm. As soon as you hear, you know that there's something about you that they remember. Now, it's up to you to make it either a good one or a bad one. But the decision is yours, okay? And so the fourth question that they would ask is, how do you handle pressure? How do you handle stress under pressure? And so they want to know that, can you handle a difficult situation when there's time constraints? If I provided you with a project, can you get it done within the time frame that I've given you? And so you want to list a particular story of when a project was given to you within the time frame and you had only X amount of days to get it done. And how did you get it done? What resources you used, and were you able to get it done within the time frame that it was given? So you want to be able to list any of that, but only you will know what that is. But if you practice early on, you jot down those questions, you jot down answers, potential good answers, and then you practice and you read it back to yourself, and then you will self-correct certain things that you said. So that way, once you get to that interview, you've nailed the position. And then the final question that they will ask you, always, 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 why have you left your previous employer? Now, when they ask you that question, it makes you like go back a minute, like, okay, none of your business, but you can't say that, and so you have to brace yourself and you have to receive it well. What they're asking is that I don't want to know whether you were fired or not. I want to know why you choose to leave that particular company. Because oftentimes you guys have to also take that into consideration. An employee never leaves the company. An employee leaves that manager. So because they know that most employees quit because they either couldn't get along with a particular manager, or somebody pissed them off really badly and they just said, I quit. Because they know that, I want you to stay away from that. I want you to list the factual, in terms of, you don't have to tell them that you've been fired. You can simply say, I was very, very fortunate to be hired by this company right out of college. However, my ready for the next level, to move up to upper management, was pretty much cut short because I was told that my credentials, I was overly qualified for this particular position, which I know in my heart that it was, in fact, I was perfect for that particular position. And so I feel that my assets, my strength can be utilized at another company who can value those things that I have to offer, who will embrace the fact that I'm overly qualified for that particular position, but who wants to be able to give me that opportunity to display my talent accordingly. And I felt that I was robbed of that particular position, due to me being overly qualified. And so I feel like I needed to move on with my talents and what I have to offer to a better company such as yours. And then you want to list everything about that company that you like, that you value, that made you choose them. Because at the end of the day, even though when you go to a job interview, the mindset is that, please allow this company to choose me, to choose me, to choose me. I want you to change that mindset. It has to be that you choose that company. Because if you don't choose that company, you have to think about the fact that this is going to be your long-term journey for you. How do you see yourself within the next year with that company, the next 5 years, and so on and so forth? So if you change the mindset that I'm choosing this company, don't go in there too cocky now. It's just you have that in the back of your mind. And that alleviates the nervousness. That alleviates, you shivering or you being afraid. You never ever want to go into an interview fearful. You want to go into an interview as confident as possible, because people will read your energy. They will know whether you walk in there with confidence or you walk in there timid and with your head down. Then they know that they have the upper hand. You want to go, even if you feel as though that you are not qualified for that particular position, you don't want them to know that. You want to present such confidence in yourself that it will just reek to them, that they will be like, oh, this person is extremely confident. I like her style. I like his style. I like his swag. He knew what he wanted. He came in here, he answered the question accordingly, and every answer did not miss a beat. Looked at me straight in the eye, never lost eye contact, and just basically told me exactly what was needed to be said. So, understand that these 5 questions takes practice. Please do not take these questions and think, I can wing it. I don't have to study. I don't have to write anything down. I don't have to practice. You almost will not get that final yes or that second or third interview. You want to land every interview, but that takes preparedness. You have to prepare yourself for each interview. The only way to do that is to write a small bio about yourself, of everything you've ever accomplished, every weaknesses you've had, and how you've turned that weakness into a strength. Once you do that, then you will see your true value before you even go to the interview. And once you practice, and practice makes perfect, I can assure you will walk in there with such confidence and such swag, no one can touch you. Even if for whatever reason, you made a mistake and for whatever reason you didn't get that job, hold your head up. There's plenty more interviews to practice with. And always, always remember, it was not you. It was not you. They lost a good thing. Once you start thinking positive, having a positive mindset, the sky is the limit. And I want you to push on, push through, and be the best you. Okay? Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell so that you can get the latest videos from me. Okay? I love you all. See you next Monday.